Hi, everybody. Welcome to Halftime Live on Brew Sports. We welcome you inside the studio for a Monday edition of the show. It's a great day to be alive. It's a wonderful time to talk about the sports world. I am Baxter Colburn.
And I'm Tanner Burke.
Tanner Burke, how are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you? I'm good.
Good. Why, you were on your phone to start the show. Why? What are you doing with yourself?
I had to take a snap of your beautiful. I don't know if you got a little something right. It must be from lunch, or an early lunch.
I was eating early. Oh, this whole thing. I'm sorry. This is called when your 4-month-old son comes by the studio and forgets his Green Bay Packers bib. So
sure, yeah, okay. if you say so, man. Whatever floats your boat.
I was just trying to make sure that I put it to good use.
Yeah.
He was nice enough to leave it on the desk by my spot, and I felt that I would do him homage to wear his bib. It's been a year since we found out that my wife was pregnant.
A year?
A year to the date.
Wow.
Yeah, we were down in Nashville, Tennessee, and we found out.
Do you have like a pregiversary for that or something?
Pregiversary? I don't know. Do I buy my wife flowers? I guess I don't know how this works.
I don't know if for an anniversary like that you buy flowers.
Well, we had a child together, so I guess I don't know how that works. Is that protocol? Should I get my wife something, the fact that we're celebrating a pregiversary?
Or maybe a new bib. How about this? I'll buy you a Bills bib.
Maybe a Bills bib. There you go. Bib. See, that's the thing. Like, I know so many people that are like Steelers and Patriots and Bills and other people fans, and they're like, oh, you just wait. I'm going to get your son whatever. I'm like, still waiting. People are like, I'm going to send him a terrible towel. I'm going to send him a Patriots onesie. I'm like... I don't see it. He's got like 8 Packer onesies and 6 Packer bibs. No one has decided me to send anything yet.
Well, if somebody does end up buying you a Patriots onesie, let me get my hands on that first.
Well, that would be my stepfather.
I'll take care of that.
I'd like to see the two of you battle it out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get him on the show.
He's like 6'5" and tall, dark, and scary. So good luck with that.
Tall, dark, and scary. Okay.
And I mean that the nicest way, too,
yes.
Sid. Tom says, good morning, guys. Jeff says, send Baxter your bibs. Send me your huddled masses. Send me your bibs. Lend me your ears.
Happy Monday.
What up, Patrick? Good to see you guys.
Yes.
We've got a good show in store for you folks today.
Always.
We're going to be joined by one of our new correspondents on the network, Nkwa Asonye, in the second segment. I think I got that actually right off the bat.
I think you did.
Cheers.
This is why you're lead hosting today.
There you go. Lead hosting because I can say stuff like that, I guess. That's all it takes.
That's right. Exactly. No, we do have a great show today. We're going to do some start, sit, and cut later.
Oh, yeah.
It's Moody Monday, so, some good things from that, as always.
Moody Monday.
We got a good week planned, I think.
We do. We've just got great things as a whole.
The wheels are turning in my head, so I got some fun segments for us planned for this week. So.
You've got a funny thing later on in the show that we're going to talk to.
I do.
Talk about
a funny thing? Everything I do is funny.
Yeah.
Don't cut me short there, man.
I'm sorry. You are just hilarious. Haha,
I'm a funny guy.
You're a funny guy.
I got
this
jokes.
guy.
I got jokes. I'm funny.
Funny.
I know stuff.
Terrible.
Okay.
Jeff says you can never go wrong with getting your wife flowers. You're right. You're absolutely right about that.
True.
I mean, I think I may send her something. And people are monitoring the fact that we already have half
Jimmy says
beers.
Tanner has almost finished his beer. So rough.
It's been that kind of a show, Jimmy. We are 3 minutes and 25 seconds in, and our beers are both almost gone already.
Yeah. No, we decided to split a beer today.
We did because we're freaking adorable. We're that hosting couple.
We're adulting pretty hard today, so.
Yes.
We're that adorable couple.
We are.
We're just gonna split a sandwich, and then we'll probably split the IPA.
And we'll probably have a water as well.
Can I get a side of water with an extra glass of ice?
Keep the tab under $10. That'd be great.
That'd be great.
That'd be
if you
great.
could come in on Saturday, that'd be great.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we lost a few people this week too, so if you could come in on Sunday, that would be great.
Yep.
Okay. All right. What do we got going on here?
I don't know. David says, "Morning, Tanner and the Lent-breaking Lent breaker, evil eye." For someone who didn't go to give up anything for Lent, is David calling out your father? Is that a mean thing to call out your father?
And the Lent-breaking Lent breaker,
the evil eye.
Here's the thing.
David, no, you're yelling at me. You're yelling at me because you must be talking about what Jamie yelled at me for this morning on the Morning Brew. Because my wife and I said we gave up extras for Lent and we went to Starbucks over the weekend.
Oh.
And Jamie was like, "Oh, that's great. You broke your Lenten promise." And I was like,
yes.
"You didn't even give anything up for Lent." She's like, "Well, yeah, I don't believe in that." I'm like, "Then you can't crucify me
you can't
crucifying me. Too soon? Wrong terminology? I don't know."
Oh, my gosh.
Is there ever a right time to say certain words, I guess?
No. I mean, sometimes.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Jimmy says cute. Jimmy, you're cute.
All right.
Anyway, Moody Monday. What are you moody about today, Tanner Burke?
What am I moody about today?
You're always moody. Gosh. You're always hitting the hard hay and the crazy hay and the moody mess.
I promised myself
the moody mascara.
I promised myself I wouldn't do this. All right. Are you ready?
I think it's what you say before every Friday night you go out drinking.
Yeah.
I promise I'll never drink
All right,
again.
Here's the deal. I can already feel my blood boiling. It's not good.
Do you need another drink? Maybe you should take a drink before we start. Then. Take a drink. Calm yourself.
Gosh.
You're young. Don't give yourself a heart attack.
I'm about to give myself a wicked heart attack right now. I swear to God.
Oh, my God.
Okay.
It's Tom Brady here.
All right, here's the deal. It's Moody Monday. On my car ride over here today, this morning, I was listening to ESPN Radio, and they had First Take today. And of
on the
course,
radio? I guess I don't ever listen to it.
It was on ESPN Radio, and of course, the 15 minutes that I am in the car listening to the freaking radio, LaVar Ball and Lonzo Ball are both on First Take. Both of them, as if they are the most relevant sports figures in the entire sports universe at this moment.
They are.
Which is freaking ridiculous. You got an 18-year-old who just lost in the NCAA tournament, and his dad is exploiting him to make money for his family. Meanwhile, Lonzo Ball is sitting there. He doesn't even want to be on the show. And LaVar is taking all the spotlight and all the credit. And he immediately said, he wrote his son off, and he said, don't worry, I'm not mad about UCLA losing because they have 2 more chances to win a championship, referring to his 2 sons who have not even graduated from high school yet. This is ridiculous to me. This is ridiculous to me because I, frankly, could not give 2 craps about, I almost said something else, 2 craps about LaVar Ball or what he has to say about the NBA or college basketball or basketball as a whole, because I don't think he has the credentials. I really do not care. LaVar Ball is a piece of crap, and I challenge LaVar Ball to come in here and talk basketball with me, and quite frankly, I think he's a chicken. I don't think he knows squat about basketball. He's exploiting his kids, which is ridiculous. He's exploiting his family, and he's making an embarrassment out of his family and himself. LaVar Ball. It's ridiculous.
It is.
It's ridiculous.
No, I completely agree
He's making money
you.
off of his kids, and he's throwing them out there into the media, which is not fair. And he's basically setting up his son, Lonzo Ball, to enter the NBA this year in the draft and be the NBA's version of Johnny Manziel, except Lonzo Ball, which is why this is not fair. Lonzo Ball isn't saying any of this.
It's true.
He's keeping his mouth shut while his father is going out there and embarrassing himself and his teammates and the entire UCLA organization, which is even more so ridiculous, is that UCLA is totally okay with LaVar Ball saying all of this crap because, like you said before we went live today, when was the last time UCLA was relevant? About 10 years ago, when they were in the Final Four.
At least.
Who cares? I don't know another school in the country that would be okay with LaVar Ball making a complete joke out of their organization, a storied organization at that. It's ridiculous. What are we doing? Why do we care what LaVar Ball has to say? He came out and said that for some reason he came out and his opinion on UCLA's coach is valued for some reason. He said that their coach, he's glad to see that he's coming back and that he'll be with UCLA for years to come. Now, is that just because of his kids? Who knows? But why do we care how he feels about the coach of UCLA? Why? Because he's playing his son? I don't care. Nobody cares. Nobody should care. He's an old man, an old curmudgeon who is making money off of his kids' success, and for some reason we think that he has credentials to speak about basketball and the sports world in general, while he's calling out some of the game's greats. Are you serious? This is ridiculous. I'm sick of it. I love the humor that he provides for this show, but this is just getting ridiculous. His son's team is long gone, and for some reason, we're still talking about them. There are 4 great teams that are in the Final Four right now who are about to win a national championship. South Carolina, nobody saw South Carolina making it to the Final Four, but for some reason, we're still talking about LaVar and Lonzo Ball like they're God's saviors. This is ridiculous. I'm sick of it.
Well, if you haven't picked up yet, it's Moody Monday on the show, and we like to talk about things that make us moody. So Tanner is basically taking all the time we have for the show today, so thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys tomorrow. No, I completely agree with you on that. I mean, why do we continue to keep glorifying the fact of somebody that we just don't care about? I mean, we need to just move on from it. It's just how the media works, unfortunately, and it's very frustrating, too, and it's taken me a long time to understand why we as a media society continue to bring up and keep people relevant. Why do we still care about Tim Tim Tebow? Why do we still care about Johnny Manziel? Why did people care about Grayson Allen for a long time? Because they did things that rubbed people the wrong way, and that's why people like to talk about it. Because like, well, what are they going to do next? If we keep pushing them, if we keep giving them the opportunity, maybe they're going to say something else outlandish or do something else crazy. It makes total sense, unfortunately, from a media perspective, because this is media gold. If you're ESPN, you want this.
I love when he says stupid stuff.
Well, yeah, everybody loves when stupid stuff is said, of course, because that gives everybody else things to talk about. So unless you continue to keep priming the pump until it's completely empty, you want to get as much out of him as you can, unfortunately. And if that means sacrificing his son, well, then yeah, it also helps lead to different conversations then. So then hopefully dads can sit at their dining room table and look their kids in the eye and be like, I'm not going to be like this.
Yeah.
You know, hopefully fathers out there have enough respect for their children to say, I'm not going to ever do this to you. Like, I will support you. I will love you. I will come to your games. Dear God, I might even start a brand, but I will never, ever be an outlandish, ridiculous douchebag on national television. It doesn't make any sense.
I wouldn't mind the brand so much if it didn't come off as just straight up exploitation.
Yeah.
He's using his kids. Like, that's fine. If you want to, if Michael Jordan's father wanted to use Michael Jordan's name and brand to brand himself and make himself money, that's fine. Just don't use your son to exploit, or don't use your son's success to exploit your son solely for your own profit. That's all he's doing.
Oh, it's all. That is all he's doing. You're right.
So I mean, we've basically set up a paved road of failure for all three of the Ball brothers. Because Lonzo is going to go to the NBA.
Lonzo was their greatest shot they had at winning a national championship in the family. And now that's not going to happen because he couldn't hit any shots. And no one is focusing on the negativity, the fact that he couldn't make any shots. They're all just focusing on Dad running his mouth again because Dad is like, well, on to the next one. Sorry, Lonzo, you failed me. Maybe go be a number 1 draft pick, and then maybe we'll have a conversation. But then again, he's going to go end up getting drafted for a team that's going to maybe win 19 games next year if they're lucky. And she's going to be
sitting here talking
again.
about the same exact thing again next
year. Always.
So here, I mean, I guess 2 things. A, I am not looking forward to the career of Lonzo Ball because we're going to have to hear from LaVar for the entirety of all the Ball brothers, which is it's terrible. And 2, I really, it's embarrassing as a whole. It really is embarrassing as a whole. And I'm looking at Lonzo as the NBA's Johnny Manziel. So he's going to go in there, and everybody in the NBA is going to just want to wreck him.
Yeah.
Tear him apart. Because of his father. It's not even Lonzo's fault. Like you said before the show today, Lonzo's probably a great kid. He's probably a stand-up guy. He's a leader on UCLA's team. I get that. But I'm sorry, Lonzo. Your father has tainted your entire professional career because he's an embarrassment to humanity.
It's true. All right, we got to move on, unfortunately. As much as I could sit here talking about LaVar Ball all day and just hear you spew fire and hotness, I think you should finish your beer for all of this. Jeff says you need to get more excited, apparently.
Yes.
Trevor on Facebook says, any press is good press. LaVar Ball passed the precipice ages ago. And Trevor says, I'm getting angry all of a sudden, and I don't know why. Hashtag LaVar Ball. Yeah, Patrick says, can they just go away already? Yes, Trevor
says, lovely. Am I the only one who didn't know who LaVar Ball was before all this started? I want to go back to that time in my life.
Right? That's how so many times that it goes. It's like, let's go back to a time where LaVar Ball didn't exist. That would be lovely.
Unbelievable. The world needs to see this.
What a time to be alive. Should we move on?
Yes, please.
All right, let's move on. Let's bring in our basketball correspondent because, like I said, Tanner took all of our time to talk about anything else on a Moody Monday, which is totally fine. I'm glad he got fired up and gave you all plenty of hot takes and wonderfulness. The Elite Eight took place over the last weekend. For those of you that didn't know, some great teams rising and falling, and some surprises as well, too, as you mentioned. South Carolina, among many others, falling and rising and making a name for themselves all over the place. But one of our basketball correspondents, Nkwa Asonye, is going to join us now on the program. So we wish him a very happy Monday to you. A very moody Monday, but hopefully he's in a better mood than you are, Tanner. Nkwa,
it's a good chance.
Good to see you, sir. Are you as moody today as Tanner is?
If I am, we need to start the week over.
You're not wrong.
Oh my gosh,
that's for sure.
But I don't know really where to go, honestly. Like, I'm trying to figure out like smart ways to transition, and I hear you just ranting in my head about.
I told you
LaVar
I didn't
Ball.
want to do this, but you brought it up, man.
You just ruined the whole show, basically. But
come on, cut him some slack.
Yes, exactly. Thank you.
All right, Nkwa. Well, let's look at it. Let's go back to the Elite Eight here briefly. Very exciting time. I don't really feel like there was too many games that people were left kind of going like, that's it? I mean, if anything, I think maybe the Xavier game. That would be the only game that I look at the entire Elite Eight and be like, well, that was really disappointing. But what were your overall thoughts from the action? A lot of buzzer beaters, a lot of close contested games down to the bitter end. And what stood out to you the most from the Elite Eight this last weekend?
Honestly, I thought it was a departure from what the rest of the tournament's been. You know, when you look at March Madness and you look at the way the tournament's constructed, people love March Madness because you get the buzzer beaters, you get the overtime games that are really close to the wire from kids you may never hear in a basketball reference ever again. And the first couple of weeks were a little devoid of that. And then finally you have the last 4 games of this weekend where Chiozza chucks one after taking 5 dribbles up the court in the world's most famous arena. And then, of course, the classic that South Carolina played yesterday, Kentucky and North Carolina, wrong North Carolina school, going back at it. I mean, it gave you everything that the tournament's supposed to give you over the first 2 weeks, and it finally sort of came to a head here. I think that's what stood out to me.
Now, Eric on Facebook brings up a good point and something that I think we should talk about. He says Gonzaga had the easiest road to the Final Four, considering some of the teams they played in South Dakota State, Northwestern, West Virginia, and then 11-seeded Xavier. Looking at, even UNC had to play Arkansas, Butler, Kentucky, and Oregon had to certainly make a name for themselves, even to make it to the Elite Eight. What do you think about Gonzaga's easy road, and will it have any effect on their chances of winning a national championship moving forward through the Final Four?
Gonzaga can never catch a break, ever. They're either overrated because they come out of the WCC or they don't do everything they're supposed to do. Like, this is the one mid-major school that can consistently contend for a top 5 seed in the NCAA tournament every single season.
That's
but
true.
They can never catch a break. They're a 1 seed. They're supposed to play all these supposedly mediocre teams. Northwestern pushed them. Northwestern's a better team than people expected. West Virginia was no slouch. And just because they stumped on Xavier, who themselves had to make a run of their own to get there, that doesn't diminish the fact that they're in their first Final Four in program history. So I think people need to just lay off Gonzaga a little bit.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that one. I've got Gonzaga going to the final in my Final Four bracket prediction, and you really look at it, and this really was one of the most entertaining Elite Eights I feel like that has happened in recent history. A lot of teams were finally humbled to an extent. You see Florida, who was making a nice run, get brought down a notch by the streaking South Carolina. Kansas, I don't think anybody thought Kansas was going to lose by 14 points to Oregon.
No.
That was probably by far the biggest surprise for me over the weekend. And then UNC Kentucky, of course, just an incredible game. And then Xavier, of course, kind of showing their true stripes, being like, all right, look, yeah, we were able to go through and beat FSU and Maryland and Arizona, but then they actually fought a real hardcore opponent and were humbled more. When you look at these 4 teams that are headed off to the Final Four right now, is it clear who the favorite is? Can we say it's a UNC? Can we say it's a Gonzaga? Or is it one of the other teams? What is it, an Oregon? Is it South Carolina? Might as well just jump on the South Carolina bandwagon at this point. But is there a clear-cut favorite to win it all with the 4 teams that we currently have in the Final Four?
If only because of on-court talent and depth, I'd say the overall talent is UNC. With that said, they're going to be lined up against Oregon, who's been a giant slayer throughout this whole tournament anyway. So I don't think we can take any of that for granted. But aside from that matchup, it could really be anybody. And I think that's what's the most fun part about it.
I definitely would agree with you on that one. I mean, it's one of those. I feel like we get so tired after a while when it comes to March Madness, and you're just like, okay, we know Kansas, or we know Duke is going to be great, but it's good to actually have some teams that traditionally aren't supposed to be here.
I mean, the sole reason why I picked UNC to win the national championship, and I've said that since day one, is I knew they're good. I knew they were good, but the sole reason why I picked them to go that far is because it's been too long since we've had a Duke or a
the
UNC.
Expert analysis of Tanner Burke. It's been too long, therefore they should win.
But here's the deal. I love the idea of having Oregon and South Carolina in the Final Four because we don't normally get teams like this that'll come in. And like you said, I'm already on the South Carolina bandwagon solely for the fact that I argued that they could be our Cinderella story a couple rounds ago.
That's true.
But I mean, they look like the real deal right now, and quite frankly, Oregon kind of does too. You see, as though they've had to play some very good teams throughout the tournament so far, and they've beaten them. And I mean, beating Kansas by 14 isn't an easy thing to do, considering Kansas put up 98, 90, and 100 points against three good teams in itself. So I think we are in for a real treat with the Final Four. Looking forward to the games here this week, and I don't know who's going to come out on top. So
it's very hard to call at this point. But I mean, Nkwa, correct me if I'm wrong, though. This is the time to really just embrace what we're seeing from South Carolina. I mean, their men's team and their women's team are both in their respective Final Fours. I think the state of South Carolina just has to be in a state of just absolute party and excitement right now. Obviously, they still have some more work to be done, but is it possible that both of these teams could end up competing for a national championship at the end of the day?
It's more than possible. And what I like most about South Carolina, Frank Martin is someone who I think all of us have watched in his Kansas State years. You've seen some of the talent he's had. You look at him and you go, well, okay, he's interesting. He's fired up. Some people love it. Some people hate it. But when it was all put on the national spotlight yesterday afternoon, you heard the players talk about how much they loved him, how much they respected him,
right?
Even having family chime in. I think that's really the embodiment of why South Carolina is as good as it is. Because many people think coaching is all about the strategy, the recruitment. At the end of the day, when a player buys into a program, they buy into the coach as well. If the coach is fake, no matter how good the team is, it's going to come out. But with South Carolina being as good as they are so quickly, remember, Frank Martin was hired maybe 3 years ago, 4 max, if I'm getting it correctly. But he's the principal reason why the Gamecocks are as good as they are. It takes a lot of care. It takes dedication. It takes a little bit of crazy to make the turnaround this fast.
You're right.
More than a minute.
You're absolutely right about that. All right, before we let you go, Nkwa, who is your predicted victor in each of the Final Four games? I know we still obviously have some time, but for you to fully put it together. But right now, though,
don't do that.
I feel like we got to at least poke you a little bit. Be like,
don't do that.
Is it too early? Or should we have this conversation later in the week?
Problem is, I don't think it'll change either way. Oh man. Whew.
It's a hard one. That's the thing. I don't honestly know if there's a clear favorite.
All right, here's what I'm going to go with.
Okay.
As much as I love South Carolina and I love the story, Gonzaga's been disrespected one too many times.
True.
They'll go to the national championship.
Okay. So we got one side.
UNC Oregon. This is the one time losing Chris Boucher, and Oregon deserves a world of credit. Boucher was the primary rim protector, one of their best defenders, and he went out for the rest of the season. I think this is the one team against which will hurt them because Joel Berry is 6 foot, but then all the rest of it's 6'8", 6'9", 6'9", 6'10", all the way through. I think this is one time they may not have enough. So I think it's going to be UNC Gonzaga for the national championship.
And I think that's going to be a very entertaining national championship if that ultimately ends up taking place, Tanner. We'll have to see, I guess. So, all right, Nkwa, we appreciate you joining us on the show today. Where can people continue to find your work and find you on social media as well to stay up to date with the latest information from the sports world from you?
So I am Well, I am Twitter fiend, so just go to N_ASONYE, and I will try to behave myself. Try, but not.
No, that's all we ask, is that you at least make an effort. So, Nkwa, we appreciate it. So we'll talk to you soon, all right?
Indeed. Thanks, guys.
All right, we'll talk to you soon. There goes Nkwa Asonye, one of our basketball correspondents here on the Brew Sports Network. People chiming in on Facebook here, Tanner Burke, all over the place as they do. Let's take a look at some of
Adam
these
says it will be a Oregon. South Carolina.
Adam's finally here?
Adam's finally here.
Dear God, Adam, where have you been?
It's been days. I've been lost without
Remember
you.
when Adam was a part of the show?
I know. He said it will be a Oregon South Carolina final. How awesome would that be?
Oh,
I would
love
to see that. I would
it.
love to see that. And then in
Cheers
that case,
to you.
I would root for South Carolina to beat Oregon just because I think Oregon gets enough attention as it is.
Right.
So.
No, I completely agree with you. Eric says Lonzo Ball is very talented. He knows where to find the open guy. Can't wait to see him in the NBA.
I also got to point out, I started laughing at one point because
I saw that.
Eric posted a video. I started watching it. It just says it's on Deadspin, but it's in the comment section, so maybe we'll pull it up tomorrow or something. Here's some satisfying video of LaVar Ball playing basketball badly.
Yep, I saw that. We showed that on the show this morning.
I watched like 10 seconds of it, and I died. It was great.
He's bad. He's
real
bad. For those of you that tuned in for the Morning Brew, we showed some of it this morning.
It's safe to say he will not beat Michael Jordan one-on-one.
No, there's absolutely
I know
no
everybody's
chance.
wondering. Breaking news. LaVar Ball will not beat Michael Jordan one-on-one. Not even a Charles Barkley. Not even a Charles Barkley.
Yeah. LaVar's got no ups. MJ's like the
he
master.
probably couldn't even beat Spike Lee one-on-one. So
what about Samuel L. Jackson?
Maybe.
Good old Sam. Eating steaks on a plane.
Yeah. Is there anything else in the comment section we should cover real quick?
Well, I mean, it's nice to see that Adam decided to come back and join us.
It's good to have you, Adam. It's good to have everybody. We got a lot of people
Adam
here.
says, damn, looking fancy, guys. You know how we do, Adam.
Does Oregon have the best backcourt in the Final Four?
I don't know. I can neither confirm nor deny that.
Losing
Boucher was huge for them, so I don't know. Honestly,
Here's the deal: it's going to be a phenomenal Final Four.
No matter how you carve it up.
My bracket blew up in the round 2.
As soon as Marquette finished, you're like, well,
I was like, whatever. So, but no, I'm excited. We're gonna really see who's got the strength and endurance to make it to the finals, and I think it could be any 4 of these teams.
I agree. Just a reminder for all of you wonderful folks as we're going about the show today, comment below, hit that share button as well. Do that way more of your friends and general social media following can check out what we've got going on here on Brew Sports. You can go head over to our website as well, brewsportsnet.com. Follow us on Twitter, at BrewSportsNet, at Baxter Colburn, at Banner Turk.
Yep.
Hashtag
I do a lot of Snapchat. I don't do a lot of Twitter.
Yeah, Snapchat is probably your easier bet.
I don't know why.
I don't tweet a lot. I'm more than willing to accept the continuous followers. I will tweet at you.
I feel like
if you tweet me, I will tweet back at you. But I very rarely will be the one to initiate said tweet.
Here's the deal. I understand the Twitterverse.
It's
helpful. I do not have the time for 150 characters. Are you kidding me?
Well, we already heard you trying to talk about
I can find my information everywhere else. Why do I need to follow 500 analysts just to get breaking news? It just seems like I'm already checking my phone 24/7 as it is. Why do I need another thing to take even more time away from me? I know. But here's the deal. I find other forms of social media to be a lot more entertaining, so like Snapchat and Instagram and stuff like that. So I use those a lot more. So
I get that.
I'm going to start using it at Brew Sports a lot more. So if you're looking for some fun Brew Sports entertainment, follow me at Banner Turk. It's not hard to find me.
It's true.
So
very true.
All right, what else is going on, man? What's up?
I wanted to talk about an article from ridingthepine.co. One of our good friends that we have over there, Dom Garrett, is one of the co-owners of the website, passed along an article to me that I thought would be a great topic of conversation. The headline itself is already exciting. 2017 NFL Mock Draft Maximum Entertainment Edition.
It's pretty great.
MEE.
I just looked over it, and
some good stuff.
It's things that I don't necessarily believe will happen, but I could see them happening.
Yeah, because, Cleveland and stuff.
Exactly.
So the article runs through, we're not going to go through all 32 first-round draft picks.
Tell us about why this is so important compared to other mock drafts.
Well, the realistic part of it is that the reason that we're talking about it is because it is offering a more entertainment value. It's more of this is what we think would get the people really, really grooving and really talking, as opposed to this is what the teams actually should do. So the first 5 picks, I think, are a true testament of how funny and crazy this could be. The descriptions really are the key in a lot of this, like the follow-up to the picks as well, too.
I mean, that's how you know you got a bunch of really great writers on your staff when not only can you make the pick and it makes sense, but you justify it with, legitimate statistics and a little bit of humor, too. So
true.
I'm all behind it.
So with the first overall pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select Mitch Trubisky out of University of North Carolina.
Why? They can literally pick any of the 3 quarterbacks at 12. This is why I don't understand this, but I get it because it's entertainment value.
Yeah.
So I get it, but
they're the Browns. That's why.
I would be fine picking, my first overall pick in Myles Garrett.
It should be Myles Garrett.
Well, yeah, and then gladly choosing one of the 3 remaining quarterbacks at 12, which on this draft would be Deshaun Kaiser, which is fine.
Yeah, that's fine. So you look at Trubisky there at number 1, and the reasoning behind it is that nobody wants to watch Cody Kessler play quarterback, right? I mean, he's literally terrible. So why draft a quarterback first overall? Because you're the Browns. That's why.
That's not really how they worded it, but yeah.
Well, that's how we're going to word it because we like our jobs.
And bet all of their chips on the quarterback with 13 career starts. What could go wrong?
I really don't see anything that could go wrong. This makes the most sense to me. It seems honestly like a very
This one's my favorite, though. This one's my favorite. So at 3rd overall, the Chicago Bears choose Deshaun Watson. And let me just read this really quick. The Bears wash that Cutler taste out of their mouth, in parentheses, which is cigarettes and barbecue sauce, I assume, and hit the reset button on Watson. That's so great.
Yes.
It's so great.
I love it.
I love it.
Nobody wants... as a Packer fan, would I want Deshaun Watson in the same division as the Packers? Sure. Teddy Bridgewater ended up not being as good as he was supposed to be because he, got his leg broken in 12 places. But
yes.
Aside from that, even Deshaun Watson, though, he's not going to be the savior for the Bears.
I don't know.
Mike Glennon's not going to be. The Bears should draft a quarterback, and they probably will.
I would love to see the Bills draft Deshaun Watson. Just for the sake of it. I know I've made the argument before of having a third quarterback. Can I make an argument without sounding totally racist?
Yeah, go for it. Why do the Bills draft so many black quarterbacks?
I don't know.
Mobile black quarterbacks.
We had Kevin Cobb at one point, but then
E.J. Manuel, Tyrod Taylor, potentially Deshaun Watson. That's such
we had Kyle Orton.
I sense it.
He was a dad.
That's not what I'm going for. I just find it interesting. You guys continue to draft the same style of quarterback.
It's not even just drafting. It's just signing even at that point.
Yeah, you keep signing the same mobile African-American quarterback.
Yes.
Why?
Yes.
It's not working. Move on.
I don't know.
Sign another Kyle Orton dad bod. He at least can win games and slide for you.
He retired to be a dad and then came out of retirement to play in Buffalo.
That's the dream right there.
That's so funny. Okay, here, I got one.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so at the 10th overall, I feel like I need to say this for my Bills fans watching. For 10th overall, the Buffalo Bills choose, and this is really funny because we already had a guy with the same name who was also a wide receiver on our team at one point. Wide receiver Mike Williams from Clemson. And this is what makes this pick so great. I don't know if the Bills should do this, but this is what makes this pick so great. Here's their analysis. The Bills need a replacement for Stephon Gilmore, but having ex-Clemson guy Mike Williams join up with fellow ex-Clemson guy Sammy Watkins on the outside is too tempting to resist. That'll surely make Tyrod Taylor happy, who's probably sick of throwing snow-covered balls to Greg Little and Justin Hunter. Probably.
I would be. If I was him,
I'm sure Tyrod Taylor would be glad to have another wide receiver to throw to.
Yeah.
And it's no secret. The Bills definitely need another wide receiver, so
true.
I'll say that. Especially losing Robert Woods now. But
29th overall pick for the Packers, for those of you that are
This
Packer
is great,
fans.
too. Yeah, this is good.
Green Bay Packers select offensive guard Forrest Lamp.
Can we just call him Forrest Gump?
Can we just call him? I mean, the fact that his name is Forrest Lamp.
It's going to be, it stinks that he's not like a running back or something. Because I would love to hear the old run, Forrest, run jokes. But at offensive guard,
he's lighting up the backfield.
Yes. But I'll take it. We'll take what we can get.
Anyway, he's out of Western Kentucky. His description here from writingthepine.co says, well, sometimes a pick just makes sense. The Packers lost one of the NFL's best guards, of course, and TJ Lang, so the Pack simply take the runaway best guard in the draft and don't look back as long as he keeps the Golden Boy starting in those State Farm commercials. So
sure.
As long as he keeps Aaron Rodgers healthy,
yes,
do it.
It is funny.
Forrest Lamp.
Very good. So this is Riding the Pine.
Don't understand that. TJ Watt to the Texans. That's what I want to have happen. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. The Texans ignore their quarterback issues. Tom Savage time. Woo! And go with pedigree. The Texans could use an athletic performer with the Patton Watt family work ethic. Remember the Bash brothers from the Mighty Ducks? It's not like that. Only a little bit more forced.
Yeah.
Do it. That makes total sense to me.
I would love to see that. It would be very scary because I don't know if TJ Watt is or will ever be as good as JJ Watt, but having them on the same team, like imagine the chemistry
there.
there.
That's the entertainment value right
Imagine
there.
the chemistry there.
Did they ever play together, though? I don't think you can call it there's chemistry.
Well, no, I'm saying, like, imagine having your brother being one of the best in the position in the sport ever.
Sure.
And being able to ask questions. I mean, they clearly think the same way. So, I feel like it would help to have.
I don't know if
your
TJ
brother
gets his
as
face
your
bloody
mentor.
enough, though, like JJ does.
Probably
that would
not.
be the one thing that would concern
But I mean, JJ didn't always look like a freak of nature.
Most of the time.
Have you seen some of his high school pictures? Same with Gronkowski. They look like
children. Little guys.
So,
little
but that'd be exciting. I would love to see that, but I would be terrified to play against the Texans.
When's the last time somebody said that? I'd be terrified to play against the Texans.
Both the Watt brothers and Jadeveon Clowney would be, wow.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know about Clowney yet.
Yeah, Nick says, why not Williams from Clemson? Why another QB?
I don't know.
Why not? Adam says, we need that corner from Washington or the safety from UConn. I'm assuming he meant, I don't know. Tom says, I think the Bills should just take Karnowski for offensive line, the whole line. Yes.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Adam says, can't wait for the Jets to draft a punter in the first round. I've already been pre-selected by the Jets, actually, this year. So just want to get that out there for you.
Yeah. So I just love, there's
some good stuff.
There's a running joke in just Buffalo in general revolving around the Bills that just says the Bills will draft as many Williamses as possible. Because at one point, it was like 2 years ago, and I always joke with the president of the Milwaukee area Bills backers group. I know it's a mouthful. We need to come up with an acronym for it. But, I would always joke with him about how many Williamses we had. So at one point, I think we had, by the end of the preseason, I think we had like 12 or 13 Williamses on our team at one point. This was like 2013 or 2014, but it's just so funny. We've slowly been weeding them out. There's a couple left. They're getting old.
Good luck.
Yeah.
That's all I say is good luck to you, sir. Well, that's always some good stuff there from Riding the Pine, so go check them out, ridingthepine.co. Some funny bits over there from them. All right. Adrian Peterson.
Yes.
What a guy.
He's
not in a rush to sign with anybody right now.
This was going to be my other frustrating thing for Moody Monday,
but
I ran out of time,
took too damn
I was freaking out about LaVar Ball. But yeah, I'm kind of frustrated with Adrian Peterson. I think a lot of people are, but I totally understand what he's saying. It's justified. I'll read a little bit of, I guess I don't really necessarily need to, but I'll read a little bit of what he said on Twitter. And I'm assuming this was a couple tweets because it's all bulked into one.
It's a Facebook post if you didn't understand that yet.
Let me eliminate questions or speculation as to why I believe wholeheartedly my God would land me right where I need to be to accomplish what I've asked from him, period. He said, finding the best fit and helping a team in a major way to win a championship is my main objective. I'm in no rush. And I understand that. I get that. But don't you think he's a little scared that there isn't a team out there that really wants him now? I mean, I would certainly take him. I know the Packers would probably love to have him.
The Packers would gladly take a guy like Adrian
Peterson.
Weren't
they about to meet with him and then cancel the meeting?
Yeah, well, they said that they passed on a meeting with Adrian Peterson, I think, once they found out. Because he probably cost too much for Ted Thompson's
$8 million
deep coffers. I don't understand why you don't sign Peterson to a 2-year, $16 million deal.
Why not?
I think that's a benefit for both sides. I don't think you're overpaying for him if you paid him $16 million over 2 years. I think that's a steal for Adrian Peterson.
No, and it'd be a great compliment to Aaron Rodgers. And,
it's true.
Christine
Michael and all that other Ty Montgomery.
I don't see why that would be an issue.
Yeah, Adrian Peterson, I don't think has much to worry about. I think right now, as he mentioned in his message, he's trying to figure out where he can best go and win a championship. So if I'm Adrian Peterson, I'm probably sitting around right now waiting for New England. I'm waiting for Indianapolis. I'm waiting for maybe Carolina. Waiting maybe for Arizona, which would be a bit of a stretch, honestly. I may be waiting for Oakland to call me. Yeah, there's a couple of teams. Green Bay, of course.
Well, can you imagine
the Giants?
Can you imagine Oakland having Marshawn Lynch? We're also waiting to see if he'll sign with Oakland. But can you imagine Oakland having Marshawn Lynch and Adrian Peterson?
That would be a killer 1-2 punch. That's for sure.
That'd just be fun to watch.
That would be.
I think.
I would buy a Raiders jersey. Nah, just kidding.
I don't know how
I
Marshawn
would support the Raiders partially.
I don't know how Marshawn and AP would get along with each other, but it'd be fun to watch.
Well, that's why people have been making the argument about why not Adrian Peterson going to the Cowboys, because we already know he wanted to get back to that Texas.
Elliott. What do you need?
Well, why would you need Adrian Peterson if you have Marshawn Lynch?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking you the question. I don't know. You brought these teams up. Why would you need Adrian Peterson? You have David Johnson in Arizona. I don't know.
No, I think you get that 1-2 combination because how often do you see teams running this with a single guy anymore? It's very much a committee-style NFL nowadays.
It is. It's definitely a by-committee league when it comes to the running backs now, especially with how many injuries there are to the position. You need – I mean, Trevor would know. Trevor runs the fantasy league that I'm in every year. He would know. He's always the first person to draft – and handcuff running backs. So he'll have the starting running back, and then he'll have the backup. So
just bang, bang, right off the bat.
Yeah. He's all about that. He's all about that life.
Adam says, why not the Texans? I honestly believe, Adam, the reason he wouldn't go with the Texans is because they're not in any position to win a championship. He says he wants to go compete this year. Why would he go to the Texans where he has to wait maybe another 3 to 5 years?
Trevor brings up a good point. I would love AP to Green Bay. Don't think stingy Ted Thompson will do it. Too many cheaper, younger options in the draft. And he's right. There are a lot of very good options in the draft.
But are you going to win a Super Bowl this year if you're the Packers? I don't think you're going to if you don't have Adrian Peterson or Ty Montgomery.
Running back. That's why you drafted Eddie Lacy, and that didn't work out for you. When you're getting Adrian Peterson, you know what you're getting, and it's used goods. It's a name that's going to put people in your seats. Not that Green Bay has a problem with that, but you're going to get people who are going to buy jerseys. You're going to get more exposure, which they don't really necessarily have a problem with any of this. But it would be fun to see Adrian Peterson play for Green Bay, especially being in Minnesota his whole career.
It makes the most sense from an immediate gratification standpoint.
Say Adrian Peterson went and played in Green Bay for 2 years. When he gets his Hall of Fame locker, is it going to be like Brett Favre where they split it down the middle and have half Green Bay, half Minnesota?
Does he win a Super Bowl in Green Bay?
Did Brett Favre win a Super Bowl in Minnesota? No, but he still has half of his locker in purple and white. It makes no sense to me. It makes no sense to me, and I don't think it really makes sense to anybody in Minnesota either. But
all right, let's look at the teams as a whole here.
Sure.
So let's just start in the NFC. Dallas?
No.
Giants?
Maybe. That'd be good.
Eagles?
No.
Redskins?
No.
Bears?
No.
Lions?
No.
Packers?
Yes.
Vikings? No, obviously. Falcons? Basically already full.
Yeah, they're full, but I'd still be interested in that.
Yeah. Carolina?
Yes.
Saints?
Maybe. That's interesting.
Buccaneers? If Doug Martin doesn't resign, but I think he's going to.
That would make Tampa Bay very intriguing.
That would make them like a 5 or 6 seed in the playoffs.
Yes.
I feel like,
and
they need that extra little bit to get over the hump.
Believe me, I had every single one of their running backs on my roster last year for fantasy, only because I drafted AP and he went out the same weekend as my other running back. So
yep, same here.
I was fishing for running backs all year, and this stupid running back situation in Tampa Bay was a disaster. They just kept cycling through people. Fat Rob, Rob Kelly, so
classic Rob.
But yeah, Tampa would be interesting. So what else you got? Keep
Arizona? No. David Johnson.
They already have enough. Yeah, they've
pardon me. Los Angeles, not St. Louis. No. Pardon me. San Fran.
I'm talking. He's only gonna sign with a team who's gonna be a contender. So when we're talking about
Seattle
contenders in the NFL, there's like
what
6
about
or
Kansas
7 teams.
City?
No.
Why not?
Do you look at their team right now as a contender?
They almost contended last year.
He's looking at teams that like the Patriots, who
I know,
are
but
guaranteed to be a contender.
Kansas City was a couple plays away from a Super Bowl last year.
Is Kansas City going to win a Super Bowl with Adrian Peterson?
Maybe if they had a stable running game.
I don't think
Remember the Chiefs lost Jamal Charles last year, and now they are in the market for a bigger, better running back.
Bigger and better? They're getting the same thing in Adrian Peterson, except maybe one less injury.
Maybe that's what they need.
I don't think they'd make that mistake. Kansas City's going to draft a running back.
Interesting. Chargers, no. Broncos need a solid running back. Adrian Peterson.
It's going to depend on the quarterback.
It would depend on the quarterback, but I think Denver still is a potential Super Bowl, at least a playoff contender.
Yeah,
with Adrian
absolutely.
Peterson, regardless of who their quarterback is.
I don't think he signs there if Trevor Siemian's their starting quarterback.
Then you start asking the questions of certain teams like the Bengals and the Dolphins and the Colts and the Jaguars, teams that are on that potential precipice of moving across, but maybe just have struggled due to 1 or 2 positions not being where they need to be. Could those be fits?
Maybe.
I don't know about the rest of you, but I actually would like Jacksonville to be good this year.
I still don't. Jacksonville's a bottom feeder for me.
I don't think they are anymore.
Always.
I don't think they are this season.
They need to. It sounds terrible for me to say it, but they're not going to be a good team unless they move.
It's true. That is true. Adam says the Saints are going to sign Johnny Football. That is a very strong possibility, wow. Adam.
Oh my God, I would hate New Orleans so much.
Why?
I'm so over Johnny Football.
Hey, LaVar Ball is running his timeout, so we might as well just get Johnny back in the
God.
video.
We'll have to do a start-sit cut between Tim Tebow, Johnny Football, and LaVar Ball. Or the entire Ball family.
Cut LaVar Ball.
And his family.
Sit Manziel, start Tebow.
Start Tebow because everybody loves Tim Tebow. Everybody wants Tim Tebow to succeed.
I would love Tim Tebow to be like my brother-in-law. If I had a sister, I want him to marry my sister. That way Tim is in the family. Like, what? He just seems like
Johnny Manziel's the crazy uncle twice removed.
Like, Johnny! Like, hey, guys.
Johnny! Yeah. So.
Giving bourbon to the 6-year-olds under the table at Thanksgiving.
Yes. Trevor says if AP goes to New England, I'm done. I'd be done too.
Bills are going to give him $18 million and win the next 2 Super Bowls. All right, Adam, good story. Talk to me about your defense.
Don't forget, we're also going to give him the key to the city.
Yeah. And then he's going to get hurt on the first play from scrimmage.
He says both AP and Shady will have 2,000 yards.
All right, Adam.
Please, I'd love to see that happen.
It's not going to happen, though.
If AP came to Buffalo, I mean, why not? Come on over, man. We'd love to have you. I'll cook you dinner. I'll make you a nice, fine Italian dinner.
I'm still waiting for my nice, fine Italian.
Prego. Make you some garlic bread.
Some garlic.
Fresh out of the freezer.
This man knows how to treat a lady right. Trevor says the Bortles services run out in Jacksonville. I would agree with that. I mean, Blake Bortles is not nearly the quarterback folks thought he was. He is spoiled with 2 of the best young wide receivers in the NFL, and Allen Robinson.
And he's still bad.
The other Allen Hearns. Yes. Robinson and Hearns. And you're still bad, Bortles. Come on.
It's insane.
Cutler, Romo, anybody would be better than you. Kaepernick, forgot. No, I'd say take Bortles over Kaepernick.
Oh, my gosh.
Too soon?
Okay, I want to talk about your MLS name.
My MLS name. I'm not buying a team.
Can we talk about the San Diego MLS team name that they're talking about?
Well, let's.
I wanted to get into that before. We have like 15 minutes or so.
Well, let's lay this out because San Diego has put in a bid for an expansion club for Major League Soccer. They have not been granted anything. They have not been, slated to get the next franchise. They still have a long period of waiting to go through, basically. But MLS continues to expand. So there's a possibility. Every franchise in the world, basically, every league is obsessed with San Diego, except for the teams that were already there, apparently.
Yes.
So San Diego has put out a fan poll, and they said, we want to leave it up to the fans.
Okay, before I say anything, this is why we have the Electoral College when we're voting for the President of the United States. So something like this does not happen, but it's about to happen, and I love it. And I'd probably buy 100 jerseys.
You would. So Landon Donovan, former U.S. star, is helping drive the potential stadium here in San Diego. The number 1 leading name.
Wait, okay. Can you say some of the other names first?
Okay. The San Diego Surf.
Okay, I can see that.
San Diego Bad Hombres.
Okay.
Atletico San Diego.
San Diego Football Club, SDFC.
That
sounds great,
sense,
right?
San
that sounds
Diego
like a legit name.
Rebels, I think, is another one.
Okay, tell me which one's leading the
So
race.
on top, thus far, is the Footy McFootface. Yes, you heard that correct. Cheers to you. Footy McFootface.
And the San Diego MLS franchise had a fan vote for what the team name should be.
It's not official. It's not official.
What the team name should be. And the leading name over San Diego Football Club, SDFC, and the San Diego Surf is Footy McFootface. Yes! Yes,
Make
please.
soccer great again, America.
Let me buy a jersey. I will buy a flag, and I will immediately be interested in the MLS and anything that it has to offer. I will be a diehard San Diego Footy McFootface fan.
Can you imagine though? Like I work in soccer broadcasting. Like I can just imagine like my first ever game would be this would be my luck. Like the New England Revolution playing host to Footy McFootface. I can't. Like I can imagine the build-up sequence. Like Johnson passes to Burke, Burke to Culver, and shot, and a goal. Footy McFootface has scored their first goal.
Baxter, what you don't get is it's a diversion. It's supposed to catch them off guard. You see, when the Redcoats are coming, who's going to win? Not the Redcoats, because you know they're intimidating, so you need to put yourself on a higher level. So what you're doing playing as the Footy McFoot faces.
Easy.
You're setting the bar low so that they come in. They're like, we're just playing the unicorns today.
Playing the Footy McFoot faces.
Shouldn't be much of a problem. Oh,
now,
they're really good. Surprise, surprise.
Is it Footy? Like what? Like is it like so you've got like San Diego like surf. Like what is the first and the second part? Is it faces?
It's
Are they the Footy
SD
McFoot?
Footy McFooty faces.
San Diego Footy McFoot faces.
No. It's got to be. You can't say the San Diego Footy McFoot faces. It's got to be the SD.
Why does it have to be? Why do you have to have SD in there?
I don't know. You got to have San Diego something, right? It's
not necessarily.
The New York Red Bulls, the Footy McFoot faces. We're just going to call them, or the Footy McFoot faces of San Diego. Yes. I hate it. I hope it happens.
Stupid.
I really hope it happens.
San Diego Surf makes way more sense.
SDFC. That sounds like a legitimate.
Or San Diego Football Club.
That sounds like a Final Four team. All right, I got a quick game for you.
I love games.
Related to the Footy McFoot faces. I'm going to name a couple team names, and I want you to say if it's better or worse than Footy McFoot faces. Okay? These are actual team names of a couple teams who... probably never heard of, but it's worth a shot.
Hit me.
The Long Beach State Dirtbags.
Well, you're not wrong. But Footy McFoot face is better.
Footy McFoot face is better, right?
Yeah, than the dirtbag.
I wouldn't want to be a dirtbag.
I'd rather be a foot face
than a dirtbag.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Any day of the week.
I'd love to see that matchup, though. Okay, one more. I got a couple more, but this one's good. The UC Santa Cruz Banana Slugs.
I'd rather be a banana slug.
They're very close. They're
Slug
on par.
Pride.
Slug Pride. Okay. This one's bad because it took me a while to realize that I didn't really think about what it actually meant. The Hartford Whalers. That was a team name once.
Seems pretty. Yeah, that was a hockey team.
Yeah,
that seems pretty legit.
Until you think about what whaling means, and they're like, "Wow, okay, we should change our name."
PETA's freaking out right now.
We should change our name. They still sell a lot of jerseys. Okay, one more. This team name was This was going to be the team name of the San Jose Sharks when they were picking their team name.
Oh, nice.
I think they chose the right name, but this would have been funny. I think it would have been on par with Footy McFoot faces. The San Jose Rubber Puckies.
I like it.
It's great.
I would have loved to have been a rubber pucky.
I want a jersey.
Rubber pucky.
Better or worse than the Footy McFoot faces? It's worse. I would rather be a Footy McFoot face.
I would rather be a rubber pucky.
I love the idea of the Footy McFoot faces because it literally means nothing. Imagine, you're basically putting yourself out there to be made fun of, but you're doing it before everybody else.
Yeah.
So it's only funny when you do it.
Yeah.
And it makes everybody. So when someone else does it, like if I came out and said I smelled bad, and you were like, "Yeah, you stink," like it's funny because I said it. But if you say it, you sound like a jerk. But I'm still funny. So like Footy McFoot faces, you're putting yourself out there, and it's great, and I love it. So please let this be the actual team name, so I can go buy a room full of sports memorabilia and be the number one biggest fan of the San Diego Footy McFoot faces.
We'll get the Footy McFoot face logo on the back screen here.
It's great.
Dreams are made of Footy McFoot faces. This is off the same boat of the Bodie McBoat face.
Yes.
There is a 200 million pound boat named Bodie McBoat face.
Are they friends?
Bodie
McBoat face,
Footy McFoot face.
They hang out the same bar.
The McFoot faces really seem to be a very popular family. Would you rather be the McFoot faces or the Ball family?
The Foot faces. I mean, the Balls family pretty much already has...
Who's got the more successful brand, the McFoot faces or the Balls?
I think the McFoot faces would. I honestly do. I think more people would be enticed to spend $60 on a Footy McFoot face jersey than a big baller brand T-shirt that looks like he printed at Kinko's.
Or paint. Looks more like paint. I love it. You had something else I thought for me, didn't you? I thought you had something else.
Yes, let's see. Make San Diego great again, guys.
Hashtag make San Diego great again.
What else?
I thought you had something else like similar to these names. Like names that I thought you had like names that like should have been but never were.
I guess I only selected the best ones.
Oh, gotcha.
I only selected the best ones.
That's fine.
Yeah,
you do.
No,
Yeah,
it was fine.
Yeah. Well, we were basically talking about like ones that were like too soon or like things that just shouldn't happen. Like,
yes.
I was talking about like the New York Towers, or the New York Twins, like things that probably
shouldn't have happened.
Little too soon,
like
the Oklahoma Bombers.
Yeah. What was the one? You might have just said it. The Orlando Challenger.
The Orlando Challenger.
Come on, people. That's not even funny.
That's a little too soon.
That's brutal. Okay.
I
do want to talk about this really quick because it's not very relevant, but I think it's hilarious.
That's all that matters.
The Indians' general manager's son blurts out the Francisco Lindor contract information on the radio. Hilarious.
Kids these days.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, so we've all seen the video of, I think it was on BBC or something like that, where some guy is talking politics, and in the back of he's in his little den or whatever, his office, and the kid comes in and like starts interrupting, and he basically just face palms the kid like in the background. He's like, "Daddy's working. Let me be. Nancy, get Jimmy out of here." You know, that kind of thing.
Have you seen the parodies they've done?
It's hilarious, and it looks exactly the same. It's amazing. It really is amazing. Some are really great, but it makes the dad look like a total jerk. But this guy handled it pretty well. So the Indians' general manager's son, Brody Chernoff is the son's name. Mike Chernoff is the general manager. His 6-year-old son, Brody, was brought on to the radio as kind of like, kind of like Steph Curry brings his daughter on. So,
sure.
Veteran announcer Tom Hamilton asked a couple questions. He wanted to know if the youngster's dad was working on any new deals. So he asked Brody.
That's just cheeky to say something like that. Like, come on, kid.
You're basically, you're a jerk, but I get it.
You're exploiting information from a minor.
Tom Hamilton asks Brody Chernoff if his father is working on any new deals. First of all, why are you telling your 6-year-old son some classified information when you're working for $1 billion sports company? Okay. So, and Brody's probably right because, the kids say the darndest things. Brody says he's trying to get Lindor to play for 7 more years. And Hamilton burst into laughter at the response and joked that we better not talk about it anymore, Brody. No.
Easy there, big boy.
Brody, just go sit back in the corner. Let Dad do his job. Okay. Lindor for 7 years.
I don't even know who Lindor is.
That's why it's funny. Alex Rodriguez, 20-year contract. We're trying to get him.
LaVar Ball.
Tim Tebow, trying to steal him from the Mets.
Heard he's quite the booming prospect.
Not the biggest breaking
Russell
story,
Wilson.
but I thought that was so funny.
That is funny.
The owner's like, come on. Chernoff, what are you doing, Mike? Come on, man.
Get it together. All right, time for Start Sit Cut.
Start Sit Cut. One of my favorite segments. Oh my gosh, I'm freaking out. If you guys have any suggestions for who Baxter and I should start, sit, and cut today, we have a couple topics for you. I think we should just go right into it. What do you say?
Hit it.
Okay, let's start with the most relevant of our start, sit, cut, the Final Four. And the way I want to do this, I want to start one, sit one, and cut two of the Final Four.
Okay.
So hit me. What do you got?
Let's cut Oregon and let's cut UNC. Wait, that doesn't make sense.
You can do that. I don't care. That's fine.
I suppose I can. Yeah. Cut both of them. Sit Carolina, start Gonzaga.
Okay.
Gonzaga.
The Zogs?
The Zogs. The Ziggity Zogs.
I'm going to start South Carolina because I would love to see them win because nobody thought it could happen.
Of course.
I'm going to sit UNC because I have them winning my bracket. I'm going to cut Gonzaga and Oregon because I don't care.
You never care, so that's fine.
I don't. Okay.
What else?
Second-tier professional sports franchises.
Okay.
The NHL, the MLB, and the MLS. And I only say the MLB because it is not growing as much as it used to. It's not as big right now as the NBA. I made the argument to Baxter earlier that the NBA and the MLB are kind of on par, but the NBA is growing and the MLB is not. The MLB has a lot of issues that they need to work out, so I'm going to do the NHL, the MLB, and the MLS. And I think I know who you're going to start and sit and cut, but I'm going to ask you anyways.
I vaguely listened to what you just
the
were
MLB,
saying.
the NHL, and the MLS.
Cutting one, sitting one,
starting one.
Starting one. I'm going to sit Major League Soccer, I'm going to cut baseball, and I'm going to start hockey.